everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about narrative and actual fact, and why is it that within entertainment and pop culture coverage, people are far more concerned with narrative rather than actual facts and truth. So before going into this, what's the difference between narrative and actual fact? Well, narrative is essentially a story of events. Now, when we say events, these are what are perceived or interpreted. These are events that can be created, manipulated. A narrative is whatever anybody wants it to be. Now, facts, of course, are actual events, things that actually happen, things that can't be dismissed or disputed. There are 7 days in a week. That's fact. You can't argue against that. Now, it's possible for facts to exist or be used within a narrative. You can build up a story over actual events that happened. In many ways, doing this gives your narrative far more credibility. So in terms of movie, entertainment and pop culture coverage, it's clear that there is far more focus on narrative than actual facts itself. Almost too much focus on people and what they want to believe or what they want to happen rather than actually what is happening. They focus much more on what they are far more attached to, whether it's through emotion or experience. In many ways, this gives them a certain personal satisfaction or vilification. We watch whatever we want to hear because it makes us feel good. Now, of course, people are entitled to feel or watch whatever they want to. But the problem is that you become addicted to this and you start ignoring what is actually truthful or factual, what is more important and more meaningful. And I feel this can affect overall a person's judgment, their ability to review or critique objectively, their ability to give proper analysis. And you'll see so often on YouTube reviews that are already going in there with a certain confirmation bias. And unfortunately, this is something we see far too often in terms of movie and entertainment. Prior to a movie or a television series or a piece of content coming out, we'll see endless debate about what that content is supposedly trying to be or what it's trying to do. Now, 9 times out of 10, the movie or the television series is just trying to tell a story and nothing more. But there's always that perception that there's something else behind it, some other ulterior motive or message or agenda. Now, a lot of the time, there isn't actually any news or facts. Rather, it's just a tweet or a quote that doesn't actually confirm or mean anything. Yet we get almost wall-to-wall coverage, mostly on social media, of stories and narratives that when you actually look into it themselves, there's literally no facts or truth to it. Now, of course, the usual suspects in movie and entertainment talk in terms of narrative, forced diversity and representation, identity politics, something is taken away or ruining your childhood, something is being taken away from your identity, the certain culture war against the evil studio and corporations, something is woke or dead on arrival, the creators hate the fans that are trying to take advantage of them. But when you actually look at the content itself and you review it, most of the time it's literally got nothing to do with the narrative that surrounded it for many weeks or months. So why is this then? Why is it that we have people spending weeks and months talking about the narrative around the content rather than the facts around the content itself? Well, there are many reasons for this, and one of the biggest ones is that obviously following a narrative, it can be anything you want it to be. It's not restricted by actual facts, and it has an infinite lifespan. You can just keep churning out the content around the narrative because it's got no restrictions or boundaries to it. It's literally an opinion or an ideal. And it's a lot easier to talk about a narrative because you don't actually need any research. You just read basically the headlines or what you want, getting only the context that you want to see instead of the full context itself. Now, a lot of the time, a narrative is far more exciting than the actual facts. It can seem far more dramatic, more shocking, and because it's not based on actual fact, then everybody can have a voice, an opinion, and an argument over it. If one person thinks that way and another person thinks a different way, because there's no fact to determine what is actually the truth, then both people can argue as much as they want to. So everything is far more subject to somebody's opinion, therefore making the narrative far more appealing to get immersed into rather than the actual facts itself. Now again, people are allowed to do whatever they want to do, and I'm not trying to judge anybody who does indeed get involved in all of the narratives that we see surrounding entertainment on social media. But all I would do is ultimately ask, wouldn't you want to focus all this energy on actual factual information? Something that is actually substantial, actually tangible, something that is actually going to happen. Wouldn't it be of something far more valuable and give you far more satisfaction if you were talking about things that were actually truthful and actually factual? Now, this is just my way of thinking, but it seems that the majority of people that cover entertainment today seem far more attached by fake news and fake narrative. And we also have to be fair and honest here. Many of the studios and companies are also guilty of creating or very much encouraging fake narratives themselves to help promote their content. And this relates to the ongoing issue of triggering outrage or fan baiting, something that I've discussed previously on this channel. So yes, there is an argument that studios exploit fake news and narrative just as much as people covering the news do as well. And this is why I believe that if people were far more concerned with actual factual information and information that is actually truthful, it would probably dispel the studios themselves from trying to create fake news and fake narrative in order to trigger people and bait fans just so they can get more traction and discussion about the content that they are trying to promote, whether it be movies or television. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings on why people are far more concerned with actual narrative rather than actual fact. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe this is something of a bigger issue in terms of pop culture and entertainment coverage, or do you think it's more of the studios and the company's fault for very much fan baiting and trying to trigger people and provoke and play on their emotions, and this is why people are far more invested in what the narrative is rather than the actual facts around content? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you'd like to see me cover more content like this on the channel within the future, then drop me some suggestions on topics that you'd like to see me cover, and I'll see if I can provide further commentary on you on this channel within the future. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.